it was probably my second time in a kayak in my life. And I'm just following him.
A father-son trip down the Delaware River.
It looked like he was trying to look and see what was ahead.
With experienced outdoorsman Jonathan Gentile leading the way.
I was about 30 seconds behind him. And as I'm approaching, I don't see his kayak, I don't see him. So I went over, of course I was thrown out of my kayak.
Jim Gentile surfaces, desperate to see his son's face.
I went into full-blown panic mode. I'm screaming and screaming and swimming in and out trying to find him.
But Jonathan is trapped, hidden beneath the water, an invisible force holding him in its grasp.
And it didn't catch me. I don't know why it didn't catch me. The way he went over, it just dumped him right into the vortex. Mine, it shot me out past it. So then I see something pop up out of the water, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's his backpack at least. So I swim over and I grab it. It wasn't his backpack, it was his life vest, and he was still in it.
After a frantic pull to the jagged rocks on the shore, a lifetime of nursing experience is put to the test.
He's right here. I can't turn him, I can't dump the water out, I can't get air in, I can't do CPR. I'm screaming. About 100 feet away are the condos, and everybody's on their balconies drinking their Sunday morning coffee, and I'm screaming, dial 911.
Powerless in an emergency that would stop Jonathan's heart and break his.
This is the first and most important thing that I should have been able to save, and I couldn't save him. So he was my baby. I couldn't save him. Sorry. We have to stop this. We have to warn the public.
Warning about a danger hidden from view.
When you're further upstream from this point, you cannot see that dam.
You can't see it at all.
It's deceptive.
Yeah, it just looks like a continuation of the river, but it's very calm. Now, look at all these people, that can look out onto this beautiful site and not even realize that it's a killer.
A deadly drowning machine, the kind we've found, claim as many as 50 lives a year across the country. It happens because of a scientific phenomenon. When rivers and creeks are at a certain level, some dam structures can create a backwash, a watery prison that churns the people caught in it over and over.
And just look at how fast the water on the surface is moving back towards the structure.
As you go over, you get into this hydraulic, and you've got this aeration. Even if you're wearing a life vest, you can still have a real problem in not being able to get enough air because it's continuing to take you down, just like the washing machine.
A deadly spin cycle that Tom Smith with the American Society of Civil Engineers explains exists at so-called lowhead dams. Other similar water control structures across the country function just like them. But no matter what they're called, locating these dangerous dams is often a tragic experiment, with the danger identified too late, only after the drowning of unsuspecting victims. Crowdsourcing research done by the ASCE, along with Brigham Young University and other organizations, has helped to pinpoint thousands of sites and hundreds of deaths. But despite decades of tragedy, no one in the federal government has been officially keeping track of lowhead dams. And barely more than a dozen states actually record and publicize their locations to warn the public.
A number of different states have been very much on top of this, and then others, it's probably not as a high a priority. So we want to make sure it's a priority in every state, so they don't have to be reacting when somebody drowns.
It's now a priority for the feds, with Congress passing legislation finally adding lowhead dams into the national dam inventory that's public, tracking down where they are, their conditions, and what hazards exist. But finding all of those lowhead dams, we're told, could take years, with concerns about funding the job and figuring out who's responsible for them.
Some of it's very hard to find. Some of it we don't even know who the owners are because they go back over 100 years. So there's an enormous amount of work that has to be done.
Its work, we discovered, is complicated, with murky or mysterious ownership issues uncovered in property records, state and local documents, and verified sources. Our national investigative team dug through the largest existing formal catalog of lowhead dams across the nation. we found thousands with reportedly unknown or unclear owners. More than 90 of those have been linked to at least one death. That includes the 2021 drowning of an 11-year-old boy at this Pennsylvania lowhead dam that's since been removed. It sat on land owned by the Army Corps of Engineers, which at the time said it had no record of a dam on the property. And in 2015, a pair of brothers drowned at a lowhead dam near Upper Sandusky, Ohio. The court battle that followed had a water utility, the city, and state all arguing they didn't own it.
Does this inventory up the accountability factor? Because it can no longer be an out of sight, out of mind problem. Once we've named it, it has to be dealt with.
I think it does increase accountability. It's increasing our education on all sides for owners, users, government officials, and that also adds to accountability so that we can be more proactive, again, instead of being reactive.
Unfortunately, there's nothing quite like a tragedy to get action. What we'd like to be able to do is provide enough information that we can avoid the tragedy.
U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer, among the lawmakers who pushed for the bill that adds lowhead dams into the national inventory, says information about these hazards will help keep the public safe by getting the word out. Fixes or removal could then follow, although Cramer says that's not for the federal government to decide or fund.
If we can do this inventory for states, counties, park districts, and for that matter, even private landowners, townships, then they know, they can have a sense of priorities. You know, what's out there, what needs to be repaired. It's to help states and local governments know what they have on their hands, and then to start preparing and planning for the costs associated.
People like Jim Gentile say they've already paid too much.
Here it is, it's almost 3 years later, and it still hurts like hell every day. It doesn't get easier, you just learn how to manage it.
He wants the dam that took his son's life classified by the federal government as a lowhead and added into the national inventory so more people will know about the silent killer that sits below the water.
There's a person walking on it right now. He's walking through it.
He has no idea. He has no idea that if he falls over, he's not getting out. He has no idea. And that just makes my blood go cold.
A bone-chilling reminder about the power of drowning machines with currents that can still a beating heart and leave another swimming under the weight of grief.
The last year I've just given up. I've really given up, and I don't think I should have given up. I lost energy, I lost hope, and maybe this is bringing a little bit hope back.